Well, I mean, the Commission is following the events very closely right from the start, and we've been continuously urging the authorities for restraint, and we called for finding a quick solution based on dialogue and inclusiveness. And as regards to your question, I mean, Commissioner Füle was in Istanbul just a few days ago. He was speaking in front of the Prime Minister and other representatives of Turkish authorities, and he said that energizing the EU accession process, which was basically stalled for almost 3 years with Turkey, and now there is a momentum to restart it. So he said the re-energizing of this process and strengthening democracy by respecting rights and freedoms are two sides of the same coin. In other words, Turkey, as a candidate country aspiring to become a member state of the European Union, needs to really guarantee the rights and freedoms of its citizens to express their views peacefully and not to use excessive force against those who make a peaceful use of these rights. And what Commissioner as well said was that the recent events in Istanbul and other Turkish cities, they demonstrate the need for increased cooperation with Turkey on issues covered by the accession process, starting with the political criteria that include fundamental freedoms and human rights.
Peter, do you have any sense as to whether Turkey still wants to join the EU as much as it ever did? Of course, they have experienced a long period of very strong economic growth. They continue to report growth figures that would look impressive by any European standards this morning. Do you sense that they're still as keen to join as they have ever been, or less so?
Well, I think that there is an agreement and understanding on both sides that Turkey's EU's accession is the best framework for their reforms, for their modernization, and building a true, really modern European state. And on both sides, we have commitments and declarations saying, yes, we are engaged in this process, we are determined to go on, but of course, we will need to work very closely, very intensively on hammering out or hammering home the message of the need to fulfill the political criteria very, very strictly. That means upholding the rights of the citizens, fundamental rights and freedoms, in this case, freedom of assembly, freedom of expression. So Turkish officials, they are declaring that the EU accession is their priority, is their strategic goal, and the European Union, for its part, is repeating that, yes, we are committed to a credible and transparent accession process with Turkey still. And as I said, the recent events, they really underline the need to engage with Turkey even closer, even more, especially on the accession aspects, which have something to do with the respect for fundamental rights and freedoms.
Peter Stano, how far away from meeting those criteria is Turkey right now?
Well, as you know, we've been in the negotiations, accession negotiations, for a few years now. During the last 3 years, there was no actual movement because of the blockage of the chapters by the European Union and by inability of Turkey to fulfill some criteria on others. So far, only one chapter has been basically closed and several are opened, but there is a chance to restart this process, to revive this process. In 2 weeks' time, we plan to open one new chapter, which will be a significant movement and breaking the deadlock and the stagnation of the last 3 years. And Turkey, of course, is working on fulfilling the criteria. It's not a done deal. It's not a process which is completed. That's why we have the accession negotiations. You know that the European Commission is issuing regularly every year so-called progress reports, where we assess the progress made and the issues and areas where more efforts need to be done. And as we said, I mean, we need to work, especially in the light of the recent events, more needs to be done to comply fully with the Copenhagen political criteria.